original store right there was probably maybe as big as this room.
The equipment is older than you and me.
We used to do 80 to 100 of these a day.
Ja, liebe Leute, herzlich willkommen mal wieder zu den Baufunk24 Werkzeug-News. Heute mal aus einer anderen Werkstatt, nämlich aus Houston in den USA. Und ich bin heute verabredet mit Randy und ich stehe schon in Randys seiner Werkstatt. Und Randy hat nicht nur diese kleine Werkstatt, sondern auch einen ganzen Werkzeugladen, nämlich Circular Saw in Houston. Und ich gucke mich heute mal mit Randy in seinem Laden ein bisschen um.
My dad and my uncle were in this business for so long. A lot of the tools I got are 40 or 50 years old.
Oh, yeah.
And use it for 2 times, like.
Yeah, and I don't use that much. I mean, like I bought some ranch property north of here about 3 years ago. Because I had chainsaws and a pole pruner, you know, and all that. I mean, we used it some. Probably in the last 2 years, I've used it more than I have in the last 10 or 15 because I have a place now. We have 2 shops. My uncle loved woodworking. He knew my uncle.
Oh, I did, yes, sir.
He lived to be 97.
Do you still have his shop out there?
Yeah. He had a shop.
97.
Yeah. I have to show you a picture if you want to see how this place started originally.
Absolutely.
The original store right there was probably maybe as big as this room. I live in the neighborhood I grew up. My mom here, the house we grew up in, they paid like $15,000 for their house in 1965.
Yeah.
What, 40 years later, well, 45, 50 years, say 50 years later, in the same neighborhood where I live is close by my mom's, they're $1 million, $1.5 million.
I have a Sears house catalog with like houses that you can order at Sears. Like from the like from the 1910s.
Yeah.
And you get like houses for $3,000.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Simple structure.
Yeah.
So I guess there's no house of that era still exist.
Oh, I'm sure there is somewhere, and you can still buy a kid house.
Yeah.
Not from
Well,
Sears.
see, I don't know if you...
Not for $3,000.
No. Would you mind taking a minute and showing him the shop? The equipment is older than you and me
Yeah.
and him. And it's still
Pretty much.
And it's still the same equipment.
The name Vollmer, which years ago was a German manufacturer that built grinding equipment for saw blades of different type. Vollmer is about as German.
Vollmer?
Yeah.
Well, he'll show you some.
Yeah, I'll show you.
Wow. This looks cool.
You know, we do a lot of like metal fabrication, like storefronts, you know, aluminum and steel. We do a lot of that. But then bandsaw blades, like we were talking about, this what I was talking about, the strip steel, like this blade right here.
Yeah.
I think it's called strip steel. That comes a lot from, I think Germany or France or maybe England. But this is one of the problems. There's going to be a big shortage, and it already has been here. Back in the 70s, we used to get probably almost sometimes 50 to 75, sometimes 100 of these a day, because that's what the carpenters
100 a day?
a day. Or days of the week. Not
So
all
that
the
was
time.
back in the 70s because they were all like on
'Cause
manual.
there was no,
So they had no power
well,
tools.
they did, but
It was not
companies
that
like
common.
Rockwell and Milwaukee and Black & Decker came kind of along strong in the 80s. But if you were a union carpenter, you didn't use electric tools. There's a hammer and a nail set, a handsaw, and
Really? Why?
ju-
Because you need longer?
Yeah.
Because you get paid by the hour.
right.
Ah, well, have you been
About
charged for
around $7 or $8.
$7, $8 for one sharpening?
Yeah.
And
Is
in
there-
the 70s? No, now.
It's never really changed that much because we use the same machines. These machines are 50 years old.
Wow.
And we just, like I said, we get very few anymore.
So you put this
yeah,
like
it goes in a rack.
San Diego, California.
Yeah. But then like this, retail, if you want to change the tooth, like 10 point or 12 point for finish or rough cut, but there's a rack. This fits in a rack and it locks down and it slides on here and let's see. I don't know if it'll turn. You gotta, So see, it has a gear.
Ah, so it's automatic.
Yeah, well it is. but the head turns, so you have a left tooth, right tooth, left tooth, right tooth.
Yeah.
That's how it does.
Wow.
But this guy in California invented these machines probably back in the 50s.
Wow.
You make your adjustment how deep you want to cut, and the wheels, you know, they're thin on the edge. So, but this is old school.
But this is indestructible, huh?
Like that. I mean, we've had to rebuild gears and stuff like that on, but I mean, stuff like this. If we bought the same thing nowadays, it probably wouldn't last. Our family came in 1965. I went to first grade school in Austin, which is where all of our family is basically from Austin area. My mom's from Central Texas, and my dad ran basically all these machines, and he prepped the hand saws, and when they come off the machine, we put. So, when they finished the saw, we had paper clips by the, trunk load. They put it on the saw, put the paper clip on it, put it in the rack here, and then when people would come, like the racks you see over there, we put them up on the rack, and so Mr. Jones comes to pick up the saws. And
in the 70s, like with 4 guys at a time?
No, my dad ran all 4. You could do all 4.
So
it's
it
a
has
slow process.
It has some feeder. So it
the
gets
little feed finger here is what
Okay.
makes it go. So it basically tracks on here.
Yeah.
The feed finger is pushing it as the thing was turning a while ago.
Yeah.
The feed finger actually on the tooth, it catches the tooth. So when it gets to the end, it stops.
Wow.
Put another one in. Start over. We used to do on a good day 80 to 100 of these a day, every day. Maybe now on a good day 60 to 80.
Okay, but still.
Refiling or sharpening.
Okay. So why did you do less? Because
Just business.
business is going down.
Right. So we do a lot of that, and like shear blades, for metal fabrication or stomp shears, you push it down, it bends metal. Yeah, they're chipper blades that go in like a big tree mulching where people cut trees.
Yeah.
That's the blade that goes in a big, hydraulic run motor deal.
I didn't know y'all did those.
Oh yeah, we do a lot of them actually.
Which machine actually does this, sharpens the carbide?
Well, that machine, that does the top. Then the face they do over there with the.
So it's 2 different
Yeah,
machines,
it's
bend,
two-
roll it, and the wax.
See, and most companies now have automatic CNCs, which you're probably familiar with, maybe CNCs.
Yeah.
Sure.
When you have like carbide blade and there's a teeth off, I know that there are like soldered.
Yeah.
So do you resolder those tips?
Yeah, actually, sometimes if you're looking at, see like that black mark, this might have had one missing. But we have a wax. It comes, this stuff. So you buy it like that, and that's like a mom's cook or a bean pot or whatever, cabbage pot at home. But you heat it up, and that's what this is. We put it to protect them. Because if carbide, rubs against each other, it's hard, but it's very brittle.
Yeah.
Break real easy. So, but that's what that is. So
That's smart.
when they heat it up, we coat them like that. But this is how it comes to us. They put it in there and it melts it, kind of like cheese.
Okay, you just put them like in the pot and like let it like
you
this.
spin it, yeah. They had a little deal. They guys been doing it so long, they used to do it by hand or put their
on
finger
that finger.
and spin it around.
How many times can you resharpen such a blade on average?
Probably some you can do 10 or 15 times.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot. Usually what happens though, because this is A width and this is B width, when the blade gets sharpened down a lot, your tolerances get too close, then it starts having problems.
So these are Vollmer machines. These are from Germany,
That's what he said.
Yeah.
made in West Germany.
Yeah. You never heard of it?
It's called like a coleslaw blade, but the machine it would go on only goes like 90 or 100 RPM, but it's like a chop saw.
For cutting steel.
Yeah, so if we wanted to cut this right here, we had a saw because this goes real slow because you got to cut this slow. You can't have fast speed or it just burns it up. But we use it for that, and then this machine here. So showroom and basic shop, and then this is like Delta Bosch, DeWalt, Milwaukee, Makita, most of the hand tool companies. Yeah, like all these are tools we're waiting for you to come pick it up.
This is service or what?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow, that's a Porter cable sander.
Yeah.
Porter cable was known for sanders, right?
Oh yeah.
But this is an old Porter cable style.
That is.
This is all metal. You have a plastic handle.
Yeah.
But tools like this, this and this, they're all metal. That's what happened to a lot of these tools, because for them to re-engineer the tools was just too much, cost. It went prohibitive. We usually clean it out about twice a year.
Yeah.
So that is repaired or not repaired?
You're probably looking at about $50 to $100 a piece if you start
In repair.
Those are all.
And people
repaired.
don't just get it? Why? Because they don't.
Like I said, I've called her 3 times, but I can't grab her and tell her, "Hey, come get your drill and your air nailer." I don't know.
So once in a year you just sort them out?
Yeah.
Twice in a year?
We have a few guys. They're always asking, "Hey, man, when you cleaning your shelf out?" They want to know, because they're like that framing gun right there, brand new.
Yeah.
It's $350. It may have $50 worth of repair parts in it.
And all those
Yeah.
latest model polisher, a disc sander, Makita.
Yeah, Makita. We sell that for $120, and the guys that buy them, those get used pretty hard by the guys that use them. I will say that, but if it's got $30 or $40 worth of repair parts, hell, why not buy it?
Yeah, you got that right.
Okay, Leute, wenn noch jemand irgendwas braucht hier an Werkzeug, sei es einen alten Bandschleifer oder auch hier einen Bohrhammer, das Zeug, was hier liegt, ist tatsächlich alles repaired und wird nicht abgeholt. Und zweimal im Jahr räumen die dann hier auf und verkaufen das dann. Also wenn noch jemand Bedarf hat, es ist noch was da. How would you rate like Milwaukee versus DeWalt, like in terms of like?
Good. To me, I don't really have a favorite. There are certain tools I think that kind of rise above the other. Milwaukee drills, for instance. Now, in the cordless market, DeWalt is kind of like King Tut, or the big cheese, if you want to call it, in cordless drills. That's such a volatile market. I've always liked Bosch, whether from Germany or not, but there are certain tools in Bosch that if you came in to buy a tool, this is what I'm going to sell you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you're asking right now, if you wanted to buy a roto-hammer, like the one you're looking at there,
You would
the
certainly
Walt's
a
are
Bosch.
good. Makita makes good stuff, but if you want a roto-hammer, to me, that's the real deal.
Mm-hmm.
And they've changed stuff around their jigsaws, the wood jigsaws.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of their routers, but here again, they switched a bunch of stuff too. So old school, it kind of hit and miss. But Makita, pretty much right now, owns the sander market. And Bell Sanders,
Mm-hmm.
when you quit making Milwaukee quit, Bosch quit, DeWalt, Black & Decker quit. 4 or 5 major companies that sold 3x24 and 4x24 sanders, they're all gone. But now we're selling all Makita, and Makita's probably loving it because we've probably bought 300 or 400% more sanders. We went from 10 to 20 a year. Now we're probably 100. So what does that tell you? They're happy as a lark. Makita has good stuff. I'm about as pro-American as you can get, but you look in this warehouse and basically minimal or none of the tools are from the States.
Yeah. Porter cable used to be manufactured in the States, but they are from China now.
Yeah.
Milwaukee used to manufacture in the States with their Sawzall and the warm drive saws.
Yeah, see their worm drives and the Sawzalls we still sell. I think they still probably have one of the better Sawzalls. We sell quite a few Makitas though, but there's certain tools, like I said, I don't really have a favorite, but if you ask me, do you like this drill or do you like this sander like a Sawzall? Because to me, when people grew up, it was like, we all have Coke and Pepsi, right? if you ask her, what do you want to drink? Do you want a Coke or Dr. Pepper or water? And
She would say a beer.
well, that's later.
Wow. That's a little warehouse.
Yeah. See that? Well, like I said, they're all like 10,000, 10,000, and then the front with the offices is about 10. So we have almost 30 total.
So Freunde, das war eine kleine Tour mit Randy in seinem Shop. Und schreibt mir mal wieder unter das Video, was euch so fasziniert hat oder was euch begeistert hat vielleicht. Auf jeden Fall waren das eine Menge Geschichten und das Krasse ist, das war nur ein ganz bisschen, was ihr jetzt in dem Video gesehen habt, weil Randy hat mir so viel erzählt aus seinem Leben. Dafür reicht YouTube nicht mal. Ne? In diesem Sinne, macht's gut, ich muss weiter.
He watched